Welcome back. Today we are doing question 82 from 120 speaking topics. The question is, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? People put too much importance on material possessions. Use specific details to support your answer. Now first I want to go over what material possessions are. Materials are things you can touch, and possessions are things that you can own. So material possessions are kind of things that you buy that you can touch, like a television or a computer or a car, things like that you value. So now I want to go over a few phrases in the sample answer. The first phrase is garage. In Canada, we say garage. In other countries, you might hear the word pronounced garage. Both are correct. It means it's the place where you park your car, whether it is at your house, at your work, or an underground shopping mall, that type of thing. The next phrase I want to go over is he didn't spare any expense. That means he spent as much money as he wanted to. If something needed to be done, he didn't care how much it cost. He would spend that money. The other word in that phrase is customizing. He didn't spare any expense in customizing it. Customizing, in reference to a car, means to maybe put new rims on it, have a new paint job, maybe get the windows tinted, maybe put a new engine in it, a muffler so it sounds cool. Anything like that is customizing. The next word I want to go over is obsessed. When you are obsessed with something, it means you care so much about it, you don't really care about anything else. You think about it all the time. You don't care about other things as much as you should. You just really, really, really care about that one thing. And the final thing I want to go over is the word neglect. Neglect is almost the opposite of obsessed, where it means to not pay enough attention to something. So here it says neglect their loving ones, or neglect their loved ones is another way to say that. It means he's not paying enough attention to his family. He's maybe not giving them enough love at home, doesn't have time for them, this type of thing. All right, now I'm going to read the question thoroughly. I think that people put too much importance on material possessions. My neighbor has this car in which he puts almost all of his free time, energy, and money to make it look nice. He washed and waxed it every other week. He took it to the garage every month to get it checked out. He didn't spare any expense in customizing it. And all the while, he was forgetting his kids, wife, and house. Soon the bank took away his house, and his wife left him and took the kids with her. Last I heard, he was living in his beloved car. These days, people get too obsessed with their possessions and even neglect their loving ones. I want to say a few things about this sample answer. What you might have noticed is that the sample answer doesn't give two reasons. It's kind of one story from beginning to the end. So there's only one reason, and they're kind of telling a story with it in order to answer the question. Now, even though he is just answering the question in a story, he still has key phrases. For instance, the first sentence, I think that people put too much importance on material possessions. He clearly answered the question in his first sentence, which is something that you should get in the habit of doing. And his last sentence, these days, people get too obsessed with their possessions and even neglect their loving ones. So again, he answers the question and kind of references his story when he's answering the question. So it's a summary of both the answer for his question and the story that he told.